Okay, so let's begin the first part of the SLS. So, there are actually two components to this SLS package, basically. So, the first component is a skills and mental habits component, right? So I'll teach you like when you write the essays, what you need to look out for and how you want to make sure you think properly to make the correct decisions. Okay. Then part two, there's a part two to this SLS, which is I will go through an essay question review. So the essay question I've chosen is actually a 2021 VJC promo exam question number 3. Okay. Okay, so as I'm going through this SOS package, I'll be running through a few I'll be showcasing quite a few essay questions to just highlight the skills. So every question that is here, it's either in WA1, WA2, or it's a time practice, or if it's not, it's in a tutorial question. It's a tutorial question. So what I'm trying to tell you is that basically everything that I'm going through here is something or a question that you have seen before. Okay, if you have not seen that question that I'm going through before, then what you want to do is you want to look at the past year promo papers. Okay, so to access the past year promo papers, you can look at the cohort site. So I have a shortened URL here, so you can use this. Hopefully it still works, because I did it about a couple of days back. Okay, if it doesn't work, then you can just scan the QR code. It brings you to the cohort site, so that you can access whatever questions that I have here lah. Okay, but what I want to assure you is that every question that is here, it's all VJCs, either past year papers or something you have seen before, either in tutorial, WA, or time practice. Okay, okay, so this is again to stress again, this is an essay package, so it's meant to prepare you for the promo exam essays, right? So I want to iterate this. Okay, for the promo exams, essays are 3 choose 2. Okay, so in the promo exams, you will sit for the CSQ paper first, then we will collect back the CSQ paper, then after that you will begin the essay paper. Okay, you will have 3 options available to you in the on the question, right? So 1, 2, and 3. Each of the questions are 25 marks, and your job is to choose the 2 best options to maximize your marks. Okay, each one is 25 each. Okay, and just like any other essay question, part A is 10 marks, part B is 15 marks. Okay, okay, let's begin the thing proper. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about when it comes to essay skills is identifying requirements. So you will know that essay questions, there's a part A and a part B, right? So for part A, there are always 2 requirements. We term them R1 and R2. Okay, so your job is to, when you read the essay question, your first job, sorry, in dissection is to identify what the requirements are, right? And so actually sometimes the requirements are actually very, very obvious, right? So for example, if you look at this first question, it says explain the factors that affect the level of consumption and the level of investment in an economy, right? So R1 would definitely the R1 is to identify the factors that affect consumption, and then R2 will be the factors that affect investment. Okay, so then you just need to answer that, then that will make up the entire 10 marks. Okay, so for part A questions, they are basically 10 plus 0. So there is no evaluative component in a part A question, for essays at least. Yeah. Okay, so if you look at the other one, it says explain possible reasons for changes in autonomous consumption and investment. So this is kind of like basically the same question. They are, if I'm not wrong, these 2 questions are promo questions, right? So you can look at the past promos and you can see the answer keys, no problem. Okay, so again, the R1, R2 here is very easy. Reasons and factors, they're basically the same thing. Reasons for changes in C. Change in C. And this one is R2 will be reasons for the change in I. Okay, so these collectively, if you do it well, will get you the 10 marks. Okay, the next part A, again, is 10 plus 0. So using relevant examples, distinguish between the concepts of price elasticity of demand and cross elasticity of demand. So R1 will be to distinguish or to tell me more about the concept of PED, and then R2 will be to tell me the concept about XED. Okay, so questions where they are all part A questions have 2 requirements, and sometimes actually the 2 requirements can be quite easy to identify. Okay, let's go to the next part. Okay, so part B questions are 15 marks, right? So 15 marks is made out of 10 plus 5, right? And there are also two requirements for part B questions. So the 10 marks will make up the R1, R2, the two requirements will make up your 10 marks. And then the additional 5 marks is meant for evaluation. Okay, so for example, this particular part B question, it's a promo question, I think. So they ask you to discuss two policies that the Singapore government can implement to improve allocative efficiency. So R1 would be just policy 1 to explain how policy 1 works to solve allocative inefficiency, and then R2 would be another policy, okay, to solve again to improve allocative efficiency lah. Basically to solve the market failure lah. Okay, then after you do this, you explain your ALMA R2, then there are this additional 5 marks for evaluation. Okay, so part B questions, there is an evaluative component, where part A questions there aren't lah. Okay, then second one, this question asks you to discuss the appropriateness of various policies. So again, the policy is in plural, right? So R1 would be, so at the base level, R1 will be policy 1, and then R2 will be policy 2 lah. And how, again, but this case, enable low-income households to afford infant formula milk. So this one would mean try to decrease prices to try and make it more affordable, right? So the first one, this is a market failure question, and because this one the destination is price, this is a demand supply question. Okay, so R1, R2 collectively will give you the 10 marks, and then for evaluation you will get the additional 5. Okay, yeah. Okay, so the first part of the video, I just want to recap. So for promo exam, please make sure it's 3 choose 2. Okay, 2 meaning you do an A and a B, and then you do another A and a B to sum up to 25 each. Okay, then the last question you don't do lah. Okay, yeah. Again, I want to stress part A questions for essay have no evaluation, so there's no need for you to write a conclusion or anything blockbuster about it. Okay, you can write a conclusion, my bad, but you don't need to have a blockbuster conclusion with all the other value add stuff. Okay, so all A questions have 2 requirements. This is what I told you already. So sometimes they are very obvious. It's consumption R1, investment R2. Okay, part B questions also have 2 requirements, but there's an additional 5 marks for the evaluation. Okay, which means you need to write the conclusion, and where applicable, where it's appropriate and you can think of a point, then in-body evaluations are also helpful.